Am I the butthole for medically tattooing my child under the recommendation of a doctor? Hear me out. I, 31F, and my husband tried for 5 years to get pregnant. Testing eventually revealed I have eggs of effing steel, and without medical help I'll never get pregnant. So that's what we did. Gave our samples, 1 petri dish, and 9 months later I have 2 beautiful fraternal twin boys. Jack and Adam, fake. Thing is, Jake has a condition. Without going into detail, requires a shot once a week. Once he is older he can take pills. I went back to work and Mill offered to watch the babes. She's wonderful. I trust her 100%. They were 9 months. Now 16 months. During this time she would give his injection as we had a schedule. 10 a.m. before snack and nap. Worked very well until a month ago when she gave the shot to the wrong kid. Now they may be fraternal but they look identical. I'll be honest, my husband and I even mix them up sometimes. Everyone does. She immediately noticed her mistake, called 911, and they were transferred to hospital. By the time I got there, Adam had been given the reversal agent and they were both happily sipping on juice, loving the attention. We went home the same night told to push fluids. He was never in danger. It's a very slow-acting medication that, at worst, would have given him diarrhea in a few days. Mill was beside herself. I tried to ease her worry but she refused to babysit, so to daycare they went. This daycare has a nurse cause some of the kids have medications, so she knew what to do, but the worry of mixing up the kids was a valid concern, and they would not keep name tags on. Doctor recommended a medical tattoo. Explained they tattoo a freckle, no bigger than the end of a pencil eraser, on an area of skin that's easily seen while the child is under mild sedation, similar to dental offices. Because of the area it usually fades in 2 to 3 years, but by then they should have developed more personal features and may not need it redone. So after discussion with my husband we did it. He has a 2 mm brown freckle on his earlobe. From entering the office to leaving it took 30 minutes. Never felt a thing. Mill lost her crap the second I mentioned a medical tattoo. I tried to explain but she just freaked out, so I put both kids on the floor and told her to pick up Jack and find the tattoo. She picked up Adam, so I handed her Jack, and after 20 minutes still couldn't find it. Stripped him to his skivvies. I finally pointed it out and she went, "That's just a freckle I just said." My point exactly. Adam doesn't have a freckle there. So that's how daycare can tell them apart. She's still pissed and ranting. Once I explain to others and they fail to find it, they understand, but they still think I went too far in tattooing my child and altering their body. I believe I took the necessary precautions recommended by the doctor, and the tattoo will fade with sun exposure and as he grows. By the time he's 5 it probably won't even be visible, or it'll just look like a faded freckle. So, am I the butthole? NTA et al. It's literally a fake freckle. It's not like you gave him a full sleeve of pin-up girls and muscle cars. Also, it's to make it harder to accidentally kill him or his brother. You made the right call. Edit, my first gold ever, and it's from a comment about giving a toddler a tattoo sleeve. I love Reddit for this exact reason. Thank you. Although now I'm kind of curious to see a toddler with that sleeve. NTA edit, haha, thanks for the award for my silly comment. This was a fun thread. Ops kids are safe, and I learned that I totally lost my chance to kill my mother by not getting my son kick-ass fake tattoos when he was little. Cheers, all, smiley face. Something tells me it would be filled with Paw Patrol and dinosaurs. My kid would have had dinosaurs and Thomas the Tank Engine, rolling eyes face. Mine would go for a full Elmo back piece. She's classy. Edit, my first awards. Thank you, kind Redditors. Backpack tramp stamp above the diaper line, laughing out loud. Change the nappy. Mine would be a chest piece with crisscrossed / dent marks to resemble the battle armor He-Man and Skeletor figures. My daughter would have an Elsa and Anna neck tattoo. 'Cause like you mentioned, full of class. We rep Disney in this house, young blood. That Disney life. My son would have race cars for sure. Your kid and my kid would have fun acting out Thomas and the dinosaur. Mine would have Baby Shark and the family, smiley face, woman face palming. Are you familiar with the program Dinosaur Train? No, but my kid is 17 now and that may have been after his time. Now if he got a sleeve it would probably be a Star of Chaos and Space Marine armor. Blood for the blood god, yada yada. You can't yada yada skulls for the skull throne. Smiley face, true. My apologies, corn. Hell, I'd have that. My kid would have, and it would be awesome. Web link. Mine would have that on one side and Beyblades on the other. I'm a grown-ass adult woman, and this is pretty close to what I want as a half-sleeve laughing out loud. Mine would combine Minecraft and Pokémon. Specifically Pikachu laughing out loud. They sell baby onesies with fake tattoo sleeves, they're adorable, smiley face. Yes they are. I put my daughter in one for Halloween pics, web link. That is so cute, crying face. That's the cutest and simultaneously the most metal thing I've heard today. They look awesome. A tattooist dad held a fake tattoo party for his 5-year-old and friends. Little kids all rocking massive tats that looked real. Not my shop, but they do custom ones. And here's an example with skulls and snakes. Web link. I love this. I thought the same thing. I would use eyeliner and put a teardrop by his eye for the next visit, but that's because I am a butthole. Edit, spelling. You are the kind of butthole I want to be friends with. I would like to join this friend group, smiley face, woman raising hand, female sign. Where do I sign up? I will totally bring cookies, or pie or cake or pastries. Draw a heart with the word, mom on it. That would be a hilarious and harmless, to the child, prank. Sorry to hijack the top comment, but had to put it here. Am an identical twin. A similar thing happened to us when we were really young, about 4, I was the one who got her penicillin and nearly died. No, my sister doesn't have that allergy, and no, nobody knows why. I wish someone had tattooed my ear. If they tattooed my goddamned forehead, I wouldn't have cared. My grandmother would never have thrown a fit like that. If she'd thought of it, she would have hauled me to the local scratcher crap hole and made them give her the gun so she could plant that freckle on me herself. I think the real reason she's so angry is because, broadly speaking, tattooing a baby is viewed as a pretty extreme thing to do to solve a problem. In this case though, the problem more than justifies it, and having the tattoo done was definitely the right thing to do. The issue is that the mill sees it as something Original Post had to do because of her mistake. It's highlighting what she did and the overall potential seriousness of it, and showing that Original Post felt the need to go to extreme lengths to prevent her from doing something like that again. Like I said, Original Post has done nothing wrong, and the problem is 100% the mill's to deal with, but it's worth considering that her outrage probably doesn't just stem from a disapproval of the tattoo. She actually feels almost attacked, like it represents the fact that Original Post and her husband feel like they can't trust her around the child and don't think of her as competent enough to deal with him having his condition. She's wrong, that's not really what it is, and she's acting kind of childish about it, but if Original Post wants to deal with her, they'd do well to go in understanding this is probably a factor. I hadn't thought of it that way. I was raised by a narcissist who believes she does no wrong, and woe to they who call it out, so I'm always surprised when people remind me that when normal people make mistakes, they actually feel something like remorse or shame, and only if they perceive that they're being unfairly punished for or reminded of a mistake they're already flogging themselves over, they might act out in an irrational or inappropriate way. So that makes total sense. Spot on. When someone goes off like that, it's never about the thing they're supposedly going off about. It's always about something internal that they're dealing with, whether they realize it or not. Mill is angry because she hasn't processed her guilt yet. She's feeling bad feelings and doesn't know what to do with them, so she's lashing out. I think you've hit the nail on the head. Maybe explain this to your Mill. When you accidentally injected the wrong baby, you realized and did the right thing to make sure they're both safe. In daycare, they don't know the boys as well as you and I do. They might not realize, so they wouldn't be able to do the right thing to keep them safe. He needed the freckle to make sure they don't make a mistake and hurt your grandsons. NTA at all for getting it either. It makes sense and definitely is worth it when you think about the risks. Maybe try to frame it as being grateful it was Mill who made the mistake, because she recognized it and was able to fix it, whereas the variable caregivers at daycare might not have realized until too late. Get Mill to focus on the fact that she recognized her mistake and fixed it, and that's a good thing that may save the boy's lives down the line, not on the original mistake. This comment by @Venetian_if_tears really needs to be the top comment. Because the insight and understanding it provides will help op. Also, original post not the butthole is a brilliant solution, especially if the kids are in daycare where at times their caregivers may be more distracted. It's definitely not extreme, it is an ingenious solution in my opinion. Hell, if you tattooed your kid's whole name to keep them safe from a medical emergency, I would still think it's okay. I agree with you and also think that it's just an emotional reaction as Mill is projecting her own insecurities and guilt over her mistake. Maybe she hasn't fully forgiven herself yet, and that's why she's so mad. I'd suggest original post talk to her to make sure Mill is coping. I thought the same, and it is kind of heartbreaking because it sounds like original post already has forgiven her. It was Mill who put an end to the childcare arrangement because of her fear of repeating the mistake. I'd go with nah. Mill shouldn't have flipped her crap, but I can't call her a butthole for her feelings of guilt so soon after what was probably a terrifying experience for her, probably more so than the kids who wouldn't understand the situation. As far as she knew, she caused a medical emergency and now her grandchild had to undergo another painful procedure to prevent it happening again. She needs to be reminded that it wasn't to prevent just her doing it again, it's because the daycare can't tell them apart either. All she did was highlight a problem that would eventually have cropped up somewhere along the line anyway. I've never heard of this idea, and after reading this it seems so obvious of a solution to me. Doesn't it? Never have to worry about forgetting, losing or mixing up an identifying clothing item like a bracelet. Don't have to worry about a kid responding to the wrong name. Or calling the wrong name and giving the shot anyway because you could have sworn you yelled Jason and not Todd. Don't have to worry about wrong kid just being grabbed by someone who though they knew better. Just check the location mark, if yes give med, if not go find other kid, check and give med done. It's not like you gave him a full sleeve of pin-up girls and muscle cars. I was going to go with not the butthole until you pointed this out. Way to keep him from being the coolest kid in kindergarten, Mom. As I was reading the post I was thinking, what would I tattoo on my baby? This end up, carrot. I would so buy one of those fake tattoo sleeve t-shirts, they probably exist in onesie sizes, just to piss Mill off. But then again I'm very petty. Edit. Web link. NTA. You took the recommendation from a medical professional and made the decision with your spouse for the safety of your child. Absolutely nothing wrong with that, especially for something so small. Medical procedure recommended and performed by a medical professional. That's really all I need. NTA. And besides all that, the tattoo isn't even permanent. Definitely AITA. I agree. At the same time, people pierce baby girls' earlobes to let them wear earrings, and most are fine with that, not me personally, but it's the only halfways comparable thing I could think of. Some people will literally cut a piece of a baby's penis off, but heaven forbid a medical tattoo that will fade with time. Let the pearl clutching commence. NTA, original post. Right? I had my ears pierced when I was 8 months old. I didn't have a choice, but it was totally acceptable societally. I'm glad that I have them, but piercings aren't going to save my life. This freckle could save this kid, or at least prevent whatever issues come up from him not getting his meds. The safety of both kids. Mill is 100% the butthole. Mill is the butthole, especially since she has injected the wrong child before. She is proof this accident is able to occur, even to people with the kids each day. You think she would be relieved there was an interim solution to ensure that mistake didn't happen again. Someone pointed out that that's likely the reason Mill feels like original post had to go extreme lengths because she effed up. From her point of view, this is almost like an attack on her, rather than what it actually is, a simple procedure to prevent this mistake from everyone, not just her. NTA, the tattoo is for the safety of both children. It's a medical tattoo, just like they do for radiation treatments. Exactly. I have 3 tiny freckles tattooed from getting radiation, and they're not a big deal, hurt like hell because they're on my ribs, and I forget I even have them. I'd argue that it wasn't my choice either, in a way, as it was just sprung on me as a surprise at that appointment. And unless I wanted my cancer to come back, I had to go along with it. NTA. This is the first time I have heard of this used for radiation treatments. Do you mind explaining what they are for? In oversimplified terms, it's to calibrate the machine. It's a fixed point of reference for the radiologist so they can make sure to lighten up the beams and give the radiation in the exact same spot every time. Are yours green? My mom's were green, and when you asked her how she felt, she always would say a little green, then point to her dots. My Nana had radiation in the early 80s. One day she pulled up the hem of her shirt and pointed out her little dots. I remember her saying, "Look, I finally have a tattoo." It didn't hit me until I was much older that she'd said finally, miss her terribly and wish I'd had the opportunity to know her when I was grown. I bet she'd have been a hoot. I would never get a tattoo for fun, so I thought same thing when I got my radiation dot. It counts, right? I'd say it counts and is actually more badass than the average tattoo. It's your mark of kicking cancer's ass. Or at least finding the toughness and bravery within yourself to go through all the treatments, illness, etc. My mom always hated when people referred to her as some kind of warrior fighting cancer because she hated every second of it and had no choice. But she did have to find that bravery in herself to deal with it every day. In a way, she had no choice but to figure out some way to be strong, but still, she was strong. I hope you don't take offense to me bringing this up because I know people talk about kicking cancer's ass in a sweet and supportive way. I just thought I would share how my mom felt about it. She always felt like it was implying that the people who lost the battle could have lived if they were just tougher, like it's some statement on who you are if you survive or not. But in a way, I agree with you because even though she eventually died from her cancer, she showed a ton of courage and wisdom while she went through probably the worst thing ever. I'm with your mom on this. I'm a young cancer patient and I know friends from my cancer center that have died and some that have gone on to keep living. Those of us who are living haven't won something the others lost. Cancer is just a cruel and random disease. It isn't a battle. Cancer is like a suicide attack. It tries to take you down, which will also ultimately kill itself. It's random and you can't do much to stop it, but sometimes they're survivors. But people who die from cancer didn't die because they didn't fight hard enough. I'm so sorry about your mom. Sending you internet hugs from another cancer patient. No, I get that. It's definitely a really personal thing and people have different feelings about it. Thank you for watching. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube. And share them with your friends. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. We welcome your comments below. Another of our videos will begin shortly.